Hello, my name is Meiju. Welcome to watch my YouTube video on knitting and on my knitting book that is soon going to be released. I haven't made video for ages. I'm going to explain in another video what has been happening lately in my life, but my book is soon going to be released, and last Friday I was visiting Laine Magazine office and we were broadcasting a live Facebook video on all these knits that I have here now with me, and I thought that I would make an English equivalent of that video, because if some of you don't speak Finnish, you probably didn't understand anything that we were talking about in that video. But now I'm going to show you all those knits again in English, and I'm trying to be quick because the video was 45 minutes and I have some issues actually uploading the video on my YouTube, because 45 minutes makes the video file so huge that it kind of takes days for me to get it uploaded. So today I'm trying to be shorter, but probably I can't. I will make another video because I have, in my book there are 22 patterns, and some of those patterns have some variations also, so there are actually 25 knits I think in the book that were photo shooted, and I'm going to go through those knits soon, but my book will be out on 14th of April 2022. It's already been pre-sold. Pre-orders are open in at linemagazine.com and various knitting stores and bookstores. So buy my book Contrast Texture Knitting. You will see 22 exquisite patterns made with different kind of texture and knitting gables and lace, and you might learn some new stuff if you are experienced knitting. And there are also some patterns that are quite knittable for beginners too. I'm going to show you some of those too. And if you are new to cable knitting, there are also some beanie patterns, so you can try those beanies. Where did one beanie went? I hope I'm going to find it. Anyway, so those hat patterns you can try those cable knittings if you are new to cable knitting. But I'm going to start to talk about these knits. I'm trying to be really fast because my video files will grow too large to be able to upload them. This cardigan is called Alku. This was the first cardigan pattern that I did for my book, and the yarn that I used here is Finnish wool. It's Turku wool DK, and it's really rustic wool, but once you wash it with wool detergents, it softens out and it's really nice and lovely to wear. And sorry about the light, there is too much light, so probably you don't see all the textures now. We have really nice sunny day here in Helsinki today, so it's really nice. But I'm going to put this on. I love the shape and style of this cardigan. It turned out to be perfect. It has pockets, and there is this pearl A-line shaping on the body. It kind of disappears because usually we hold our arms above those, but and hiding those pearl or reverse stockinette stitch thing. But I wanted to do the shaping like this, so the knitting experience would be the most easiest one for the cable knitting. And the cable shape here is very easy. It's 12 stitches pattern that is repeated. It's something that you will learn by memory when you start to knit. And this is knit from the top down. It's starting from the back neck with these neck straps or thing. Then you cast on some stitches for fronts, knit the fronts, then pick up stitches for back, and the sleeve stitches are picked up from the body. One of my favorites, absolute favorites. Then I will tell you a little bit about this. This is knit in Laine. The green cardigan was called Alku cardigan, and this is called Dreamy Road. This was something that I wanted to name as Dreamy Road because this knit pawn in a second, it came to me as lighting had hit my head. I kind of wanted to create a pattern writing experience that would complement the stitch pattern that I had used, and in a way that it would also be a pleasurable knitting experience for knitters, and it turned out to be perfect. The stitches are first cast on to the back neck. Then you start to increase to create this nice detail, seam kind of detail in the on the shoulder. Then you just knit the back, pick up stitches for front, and shape the neckline. It's really easy. There are basically only increases, and then fronts and back are knit to the armhole length. Then the pieces are joined, put to work in a round, and then the sleeve stitches are picked for the sleeves. The yarn is Laine Helix, held together with their Kumo yarn, which is Suri alpaca. It goes with US 6 4mm needles really fast. The knitting experience is perfect with that yarn combo, and I loved how fast knit this was. The lace pattern is easy, so if you are a beginner lace knitter, this might be something you want to try out. I have another shawl pattern in the book with the same stitch pattern. So if you're worried about knitting a garment or a pullover first, try the shawl first, so it will get easier. Then I could say something about this shawl that I'm wearing now. It's knit in June Kashmir DK. It's reversible, so you can wear it both sides up. I have a thing about shawls because when I started shawl knitting, I had issue with wrong sides and right sides, and I didn't like when you are wearing a shawl, the wrong side might turn out and be visible. So for this book I wanted to make shawls that are reversibles, and if you are donating or gifting a shawl to your friends, you might kind of your non-knitter friend doesn't actually probably know which way you should wear the shawl, or he or she should wear the shawl. So now they can be worn both ways. The June Kashmir yarn is from Kyrgyz. It's their business idea is to better the livelihoods of Kyrgyz people and still value their heritage of traditional lifestyle and gathering the virgin Kashmir wool. So I like their idea of supporting the living standards there and still making their living standard better there and still supporting their traditional lifestyle. Then something about this. This is also Kashmir yarn. This is Nordic Yarn Kashmir. It's Finnish company, but they will deliver worldwide, and they have some Kashmir production in Italy, and this Kashmir is partly recycled Kashmir, so 50% of this Kashmir is recycled, and then another 50 is virgin Kashmir. So it's really soft, and this is interesting yarn because it's DK weight, but it still knits up to worsted weight gauge. So actually this, even though the yarn is you don't need that much yarn for this kind of sweater. I think I used 6 50-gram skeins, which make that this weighs 300 grams, this sweater. So it's light and completely wearable. I love it. Everything is made, those of the, that I told already are top-down sweaters made from seamlessly with circular needles from the top down. Then another, this is called Maya jacket. It's completely stockinette stitch. The back is stockinette stitch, and the only detail is those twisted stitch panels on the fronts. So basically this is bulky weight cardigan. I have used Swans Island All American worsted together with Finnish dyers Wool Me Once fibers, alpaca, there's baby suri alpaca, and now I can't remember if I had 5.5 or 6 millimeter needles, but it's really bulky weight, and this was a quick knit for me. I'm going to make a tutorial on how to make these twisted stitches to my YouTube channel. It's really easy. You don't need a cable needle. It's nice effect. It pops out from the stockinette stitch background. You kind of knit 2 stitches at the same time when you are making this trick. And one of my favorites from the book. Let's put it here. Then, oh, I forgot to say about this. There are a sleeveless variation in the book, so if you want to think about this as summer yarn and summer garment, you might want to leave those sleeves out, then you have a summer top. It's perfect. And the same with this. So this can be knit as sleeveless, or you might want to modify the sleeves, for example ribbed bands here or something like that. So this makes also a perfect summer garden. This is fingering weight yarn. It's Malaprico Meshita, and it's perfectly fine summer garment without sleeves if you don't want to make the sleeves. And it has on the back and on the front the lace and cables. Also one of my favorites. Probably these are the favorite ones from the book, but still I like those that I have also in the book. I will show you this. Where is the hat? I kind of, I don't know where it went, because I wanted to say a few words about the hat. Now I lost the hat. Well, anyway, it have to be somewhere. Oh, it's here on the floor. Okay, first this. It's gabled yoke cardigan. No, not a cardigan, a pullover. And this is something that I had, and if you watch my making of my book videos from my YouTube channel, you probably remember the story in which I had drawn the chart wrongly, or in a way that I didn't want to draw it, but I still did it, and I had a sample knitter for this design, and she knit the sample according to my wrongly drawn chart, and that made that when the design was in test knit, I realized that, oh my god, I had completely messed up the chart, meaning that some cables didn't went as I wanted them to go. So I re-knit this, and I have actually that another sample under my bed. It's waiting that I would rip it back and do something else from the yarn. But anyway, I'm happy that I re-knit the design, because now it's perfect and just the way I wanted it to be. And yeah, it's, but anything can happen when making a knitting book. And then a few words about this beanie. This is this hat has the same pattern than in this cover design. So I have made, there are 3 beanies in the book, and if you are new cable knitter, you might want to try these hats first, just to learn how the cable knitting goes, and what you should, just to have that repeat and learning. And I have 3 hats there. This is one of them, and it's made from Brooklyn tweed quarry, I think, and with really large needles, 7mm needles, so it's really quick knit. Then the cover knit. This is deep red, reminds me of Christmas, but perfect red. A pullover that has this pattern. This design has 3 variations in the book. So there is a long hoodie that I knit by myself, and then there is this cardigan, which is the same length than this pullover, short cardigan, but it has also pockets and of course the buttons in the front, and And then there is this hoodie, long cardigan with the hood, but you can leave the hood out. It's worked last and follow the cardigan put-on buns pattern for that. There are the cardigan and the hoodie are written in the same pattern, and this is in the separate pattern, so that makes that there are 22 patterns but still 23 knits from this particular design. Let's put it here. Then, oh, I'm fast because I have only talked 20 minutes and I am already in the end with these designs. Soon end, that's good. Then there is one story behind this knit that I'm showing. If you watch my Instagram, you have probably seen this already. So this is the yarn for this is the Uncommon Thread Merino DK, and it's the design is simple. It's raglan, something that a beginner can do. And when I'm making a tutorial on how to make those twisted stitches on my YouTube, it's quite knittable for a beginner or not that experienced knitter too. There is the story behind this design. In 2014, I drew a sketch of a design that had this cable thing in the front, as in this design, and it was right about the time when I visited Woke Knitting Live Chicago in 2014. I was visiting there with my friend. We were being tourists, visiting there, just some hobby knitters that wanted to see what kind of event Woke Knitting Live would be. And there was Nancy Gone talking about her experience in designing and how, what kind, where she would get her inspiration and things like that. And sorry, okay, sorry about the disturbance. We were in Chicago and visiting Chicago Woke Knitting Live with my friend. We were visiting there as tourists. We just wanted to see what kind of event it would be and want to have a nice trip there and do some knitting and stuff. I participated in the lecture that was held by sorry, my computer does some stuff. I'm trying to upload the finished video on YouTube and it's just stopping all the time. Anyway, I was listening a lecture by Nancy Gone, and I became a fan. She was talking about how she designs, and some of her methods were something that I had already been implemented, or I had kind of same kind of mindset in my designing, in a way that trying new things and experimenting different shapes and things like that. But then, and did I say already before pausing the video that I draw a sketch about one design that had same cables that I, not the same cables that I had here, but a shape of this design in a way that I wanted to do cables to a stockinette stitch background, but I couldn't find a stitch pattern that would go fit well to my design idea, and and my sketch was kind of forgotten in my files for ages, and when making my book I jumped into a newly released book by Nancy Gone about twist stitches, and I find a perfect pattern from there. I modified it slightly for my design. I wanted to implement it into my design like I had sketched it years back, but it kind of closes what for my design idea from the year 2014 for this, and here it is now. That's the story behind that design. Then I'm going to show you something different. This one, I combined colorwork knitting with cable knitting, and this is the result. I wanted to do something really different, really special that I haven't seen before, and here it is. I used the yarn that I used here was Retrosarja Pruska. It's a rustic wool, and I also made a tutorial of this knitting style to my YouTube channel. It's really easy if you have rustic yarn. You don't have to use cable needle for this. And when doing colorwork knitting, I like to use a yarn thimble that threads my yarns easily. So I didn't want to use a cable needle with this knitting. So that's why I made a tutorial on how to do this without a cable needle really easily. If you have more slippery yarn, it might be slightly difficult to do this. But if you choose a rustic yarn that don't and use needles that are not that slippery, then it's really easy to do without a cable needle. I will put the tutorial on my YouTube channel before the book comes out, so you will see the tutorial from there. Yes, this is also one of my favorites because the fit is perfect. It's just the perfect, one of the perfect sweater that I have there. Okay. One more shawl. This is also reversible shawl, so you can wear it both sides, front. And this yarn that I used here is Jarbo alpaca solo, so it's 100% alpaca. It's sport or heavy fingering weight yarn, and it's extremely soft, lovely to wear, perfect shawl, simple shawl, stylish shawl, and perfect gift if you don't want to wear it yourself, but I want to wear it myself. Yes, this was one of the first knits that I cast on for my book, and I wanted to make really neat edges for it, and I did. They are slightly different from both edges, but still neat from the both sides. That's it. Okay, now you have seen over 10 knits from my book. I'm going to show you some more when the book patterns go live, and the pattern previews will be live on Ravelry on 1st of April, and then The book is released on 14th of April. I hope that there are no delays in deliveries, but because of coronavirus and the situation in world and in Europe nowadays, there might be, of course, some delays, but let's hope that's not the case. And the war in Ukraine comes so close to my skin. My grandmother escaped from Karelia in the Second World War when Russia attacked Finland, and this is something that comes really close to my skin, because I know that I have test knitters in Ukraine, and many people in Europe have their relatives in Ukraine. So please do everything that you can to support Ukraine. It's absolutely terrifying to think that it's war in Europe. It's something that goes beyond my understanding, but that's the situation, and we have to live it. Knitting gives me a lot of comfort and a lot of help in this situation, I think. But anyway, have a nice week. Have a lovely knits, and go to see my book when it comes out. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Ai,